Ooh, I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Ooh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Ooh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Ooh, I tell her, and she gon' work that round. I'ma mess around and drown when she drop that down. No more phone me blowing up, I like not right now. Oh, I swear that she in next the way she work that mouth. Whoa, automatic cause she move, she be cousin static. I be straight up like an addict, might become an addict. Now I gotta have it, had enough with all the moves, yeah, move here. Ooh, let me grab it, now I'm on 1 year. Now I'm not done yet, told her wait right here. I'll be back one set, this is just time out, this is not no way. Go and grab that friend, then you know what's next stage. You been rockin' with it all-star, baby, and I know you coming early like a five-star, baby. Packing out the seat, this ain't no hostile, baby, and they know me in the city like a mob star. I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her.
Hey, yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace, you gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience and the pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no, you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition, they ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing you. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat, I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas, you gon' see the...
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f*** is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Space showing for me.
Yeah.
Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sorry, guys, I was wrestling Mrs. Candle's foot. She ran off. I couldn't get a good hold of it, guys. We're going to have to start sniffing more than hands to get this thing Bitcoin to pump, guys. But what is going on, Mafia? Thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with your boy Frankie Candles and the Candle Mafia to do, I don't know, somewhere between 1 and 2 hours of TA on this crazy thing they call Bitcoin. Oh, God, does it feel good to be back in the studio, guys. As you know, I was traveling for the holidays, and we are now back in the captain's chair, staring at the charts 24/7. It feels good to be back. to hit the ground running here. Obviously we have New Year's coming, but we're almost there. We're almost here in 2025, guys. We got a lot of good content coming, and Bitcoin, she tried to pump. She got another little dump to the downside. I'm going to cover the key levels. If you did not see my market update, is this camera uneven? I don't know. I think somebody might have moved the camera while I was away. But we're going to be taking a look at the key levels, guys. I'm going to try to predict this next move on Bitcoin as we got a little bit of a pump to the upside, a little drop to the downside. Bitcoin is absolutely choppy right now. So I'm going to give you guys the key levels, the next key levels of support that we're looking at. Again, if you saw that market update earlier, you will have some of these levels on your chart already. But I want to break down exactly what I'm looking at, kind of talk about the context of the ranges that I'm looking at and how I am personally handling these trades moving forward into this week. Now, obviously, with New Year's coming up, we could still kind of see some sideways price action. I know everybody kind of thinks that Bitcoin's kind of volatile right now, which we did get some nice pumps and dumps here over the past or last week while I was on my trip. But for the most part, guys, if you were here on Thursday's live stream, I believe that was the last live stream we did here on YouTube, you will know we were looking at a macro range, looking at those volume profiles, and we essentially are just bing-bonging around within that range. So I'm going to break down those key levels and let you know what I think is coming next here on Bitcoin, and hopefully we don't have to break out Mrs. Candle's feet because sniffing the hands is not working anymore. She just keeps dumping to the downside. So, maybe we'll have to break the glass, pull out the Mrs. Candle's feet. But I don't know if YouTube's going to like that. We might get banned on YouTube if we break out the feet. But with all that being said, guys, shout out to the Candle Mafia. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for spending your precious time here with your boy Frankie Candles and the Candle Mafia. We got Crypto Billy in the chat. Shout out to Crypto Billy. I hope you had a great holiday. Shout out to Crypto Anon, Darren Does Things, Chemistry Bro, Rob the Crypto Snob, all the mods, guys. Show them some love in the chat. They help us out endlessly with this YouTube channel. So show them some love in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. We got Dave Hagen in the chat said, Frankie, what do you think about the shooting star candle on the monthly? We will actually go ahead and take a look at that for you, Dave. I'm going to break down the higher time frames. Like I said, this is my first live stream in over a week, which, guys, it's terrible. I hate taking time off. I am more stressed out when I take time off than I am when I'm just working all the time. People are like, Frankie, you're always working, man. Like, don't you get tired? And I'm like, no, I love my job. I love to do this every day. And honestly, when I take breaks, I hate it. I'm a nervous wreck the whole time. I'd rather just be working, to be quite honest with you guys. So it feels super good to be back on the charts here with the Candle Mafia. Let's see. Feet pics. Yo, shout out to Round Earth. Oh, God, we're going to have to, oh, God, man. Only candles. Shout out to you, man. But shout out to everybody in here. We got, Haiti in the chat, or Hottie, I don't know how to say that name, but thank you for being here. We got Do in the chat, dropping those goats. Derelict said, candle toes. Oh, God, Mafia, we've only been back for like 5 minutes and we're already off the rockers. Shout out to K Diggity. Shout out to the goats out there. I know K Diggity wants to say what's up to Phoebe. Let's see, guys. Santa didn't bring me a goat, guys. Santa didn't bring me a goat, but that doesn't mean we're not going to get a pet goat here coming up soon. But we got the Dusty Hunt in the chat. What is going on, bro? Let's see who else we got. Flight Vision said, I prefer to poke the like button. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button if you have not already. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some extra crypto, or it gives us an opportunity to give away some extra crypto for you guys. So we're going to go for 1,000 likes. That's our new kind of base level like goal here. So if we hit 1,000 likes, we will be giving away some Solana on Friday's live stream. And if we hit that like goal multiple times this week, we'll just keep stacking up that money to give back to the Candle Mafia, because we appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Shout out to Gen Z, said, hey, I'm back from the morning stream. Shout out to Gen Z. He was in the premium live stream earlier today. Shout out to Gen Z. Long time no see, brother. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Let's see. Dave Hagen says, shout out on the naked volume profile tutorial. Yeah, shout out to the MPOC video. If you guys have not seen that, check it out. It is the newest tutorial on the channel if you guys want to find out how to get those key levels on your chart that are typically pretty good for trades. So yeah, go check that out if you have not already. Let's see. Your mic is low volume. What is going on with this dang microphone? Guys, give me a green check mark in the chat if you guys can hear me loud and clear. If not, I don't know, put a down arrow. I don't know. I wish we had red candles that we could put in the chat. But yeah, let me know if you guys can hear me. If you can't, I don't know, give me a signal. Green check marks means you can hear me. And there, shout out to Frankie Candles in the chat. That's not me. That's Tony D posing as me. He's trying to steal my identity, guys. But he did drop that link for the MPOC video. I'll go ahead and pin that to the top of the chat so you guys can go back, open it up in another tab, pause it, and then come back here. Mic is fine. Okay, yeah. So hopefully the volume is good. If I get a bunch of, okay, good. Green check marks all over the place. But with all that being said, guys, you're 100, bro. Shout out to Dalton. Thank you for letting me know. well, dude. But with all that being said, guys, we got a lot to look at here on the charts. I feel like we got to do a whole big kind of check-in on Bitcoin, the altcoins, because it's been too long, guys. I dropped that market update, but it's just I want to spend some quality time with the Mafia here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts here, guys, and see if we can predict the next move on Bitcoin. I'm just trying to hide some secret stuff here from the premium Discord. But there we go. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. Let's go. So here we are, guys. Bitcoin is going to zero. I mean, let's be honest. It's all going to zero. I'm just kidding, guys. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. And hopefully, if you guys are getting worried here, I know a lot of people are asking, is the bull market over? I saw somebody ask that question in the chat just a minute ago. My simple answer here, guys, is it is nothing has happened here on the charts, at least from a technical perspective, that is pointing to the bull market being over. No significant higher time frame structure has been broken. As a matter of fact, if you guys tune into the live streams recently, you will know there are some lower levels, which I will go over briefly today. I don't want to beat the dead horse. We took a look at them in the market update, but I want to take a look at these with you guys because we could even come down lower, guys, and it would not signal the bull market being over. So we have a lot of support down below. If we lose the key levels that we have down here below, closer to the bottom of this range, I'll bring up the exact levels in just a second. But even if we lose this overall range, guys, there are some levels we can come down and visit before getting another strong move to the upside. So if you're here wondering, Frankie Candles, please tell me, is the bull market over? I am not a fortune teller. I know a lot of people say we have a crystal ball. I just tell them it's the volume profiles. But from my perspective on the chart here, there's really nothing. It's not like, oh my God, we pulled back, what are we down here? We pulled back 15% in a bull market. It's all over. The bear market's here. That is not, that is not what we're looking at least at this moment. There's nothing really, even if we continue down, things could be looking a little bearish, but it doesn't mean we're going to zero. It doesn't mean the bull market's over. So take a deep breath. When in doubt, zoom out, guys. You take a, come on up to a higher time frame. Get off that 5-minute time frame. Come over to the daily, guys. We've gotten a really big move up on Bitcoin, and we're just seeing a little pullback here, right? And as of right now, in my opinion, it's nothing to worry about. Doesn't mean it can't turn bearish, and we'll go over that. But yeah, just take a deep breath. To be quite honest with you guys, over the week that I was away, we got this little bounce to the upside on Christmas Eve. We got a little dump back to the downside. But for the most part, guys, we basically went sideways, which is nice. I know a lot of people thought this was like very aggressive. Oh my God, we're ripping. Oh my God, we're dumping. But as I was away for that week, we kind of just went sideways, right? Like there really is nothing really happening here. It's funny. I was talking to the premium Discord earlier today talking about how, it just goes to show how much retail has actually come back into the market, right? It's like we got this bump up on Christmas Eve, right? Or I'm sorry, we got this dump down here, and people are like, oh my God, we're going to zero, and it's like, guys, we're just we're at a point that we were a couple days ago, right? And then we get the pump, and then we get a dump back down. People are like, oh my God, it's going to zero. It's like, guys, calm down. This is just consolidation, and again, it doesn't mean we can't continue down. Trust me, I'll bring up those lower levels, but I'm just saying, you come back down here, people are like, oh my God, what's happening? It's like, hey, like this isn't really that dramatic of a move, and even if you zoom out more, let's bring up some of these key levels, right? So number one, we have our main range, right? And I'm actually going to hide some of these upper levels that we have up here just to clean up the chart a bit. I don't want anyone getting super confused here. Of course, can I just select all this? There we go. Okay. So overall, guys, I'll get rid of these boxes as well, and we'll touch back on these boxes. I don't want to scare anybody, but we'll come back to these boxes. And again, if you watch the live stream, guys, like there's really not that much to update since last live stream 2 weeks ago on Thursday, right? Really not much here. But I will just say, right, we have our overall volume profile. This is what we left off on, saying that we have our key levels of support down here sitting at this blue box between about, 92 to all the way down to about 89,847, right? Now, this is, there's many levels within here, right? We have the value area low of this larger range. Now, remember, when it comes to those volume profiles, once you get a rejection from the high, you get under that POC. As long as you remain under that POC, the doorway to that value area low is going to be open, right? And this is the key level we looked at, not last week, but the week before, right? Just saying, hey, as long as we're within this volume profile, we're going to be looking for this to get respected. If we come up to the highs, this is where we're going to look for the rejection back down towards that value area low. If we can come into this value area low with bullish confirmations, we will look for potential long positions to rotate back up to that value area high. And, for the most part, I mean, where were we here? We came up, we rejected the POC, back down to the low, back to the high, back down to the low. And I know we never came down to this actual value area low, but we did have a local range that we were looking at, which I will bring up in a second. But overall, this is our macro range, guys. When you are scared, right? When you feel like the bull market's over, just take a deep breath and zoom out a little bit. We are essentially just going sideways here over the long term. So with that being said, the key levels of support, guys, remain exactly the same as 2 weeks ago. And if I go ahead and pull them up, right, like I said, value area low coming in here at about, I'll come up to the daily time frame just so we can see this a little bit better. Let me see here. Do I have 2 volume profiles here? No. Okay. So value area low sitting here at about $90,400. This is a very, very key level that I am watching right now for potential new swing long positions if we are able to get down there. And we'll cover how likely that is in just a second. But we have a lot of confluence down here. If we pull up those daily naked points of controls, you guys know we had this daily naked point of control sitting at about 92,274. We watched this many times as we got our first bounce, then we got our second bounce here on the on Christmas Eve, right? And then we came down for a third time, getting our bounce earlier today, which was pretty short-lived. And we'll see. We'll look at the lower time frames and see if we can get this thing to continue up. But overall, right, you have your daily naked point of control, your value area low sitting here at $90,400. And then if we pull up our daily, we do have a daily horizontal down here at about $89,850. So this whole zone is really a big zone of support, right? And again, like we see that happen. We got our bounce. We got our bounce. We got another bounce. But if we continue down, even back to my market update that I put out on, I believe it was Christmas Eve, if we do get a bigger move down, we are going to be targeting this value area low, daily horizontal, sitting between 90,400, 90,450, all the way down to the daily at about $89,776. And again, it is just in the context of our volume profile, right? What happens? We come out, we deviate above that value area. We wound up getting some bearish confirmations up here. I am still holding my short position here from about $106,000 on a bearish retest of a golden pocket. And I am still holding a portion of that. I showed it earlier today in the market update. I'll show it again tonight, but I am holding a portion of that. At that point, you look for price to get a move down to the value area low where we know this is going to be your key level of support. If you do not get a strong bounce off of this, we are going to be looking to get accepted back into the range, back down to the POC, and then once you lose that POC, you look to head down back towards that value area low. And you might be saying to yourself, well, Frankie, we're not hitting the value area low. We're bouncing off that daily naked point of control. And this is why we've been looking at multiple different ranges, right? Not only have we been looking at this major range, right, on a higher time frame, we are looking at this larger range. Again, value area low at 90,450, value area high coming in at about $100,000, right? But we also had this other range that we looked at since 2 weeks ago. Where is it? Range 1. Here we go. Let me hide the overall range. Well, that's a third range. Let me hide the main range, right? We have this local volume profile, and I'm actually going to hide some of these blue boxes just so I can clean up the chart so you guys can get kind of a clean look at kind of what this range looks like. I'll get rid of this golden pocket. I'll even get rid of this anchored VWAP, bada boom, and I'll even get rid of this daily naked point of control because we all know that's there. But we also had this local volume profile, right? And for the most part, right, these are deviations below our local value area low, back up to the value area high, back down to the value area low, deviation, back into the value area, back to the POC, back to the value area high. We actually did have a short setup here in the premium Discord. Go ahead and hide this. We also actually did have a short setup here in the premium Discord where we looked to come into that value area high with bearish confirmations. We did get them, and we got a drop to where? Right back down to the POC and right back down to the value area low for a nice little trade here, little day trade back down to that value area low. And this is the local context, right? These are the levels we've been looking at for forever, right? Just bing-bonging around, right? Respected, deviate above, back to the low, back deviation below the low, back to the high, deviation above, back to the low, hold the low, back to the high, big deviation, and then you use this for your context to ride those next trades once you get back in this consolidation. But just in general, as we were looking, as price was pumping up here on December 24th, right, we were saying, everybody was going crazy. Oh, my God, it's the Santa rally. It's starting early. But, in the premium Discord, we were just looking at this as a reclaim of this value area low, a push up into our key level of resistance, which was not only the value area high, but we also had a golden pocket 786 retracement coming in here between $98,883 all the way up to about $100,633. But we had really a lot of confluence here, right? We had a daily naked point of control, a daily horizontal, golden pocket, value area high, and we very simply put, guys, got that bearish divergence here. Let me pull up market cipher B. Bearish divergences on the 30-minute was specifically the confirmation, the first confirmation I was looking for, right? Higher highs on our price action into that key level of resistance. And I don't want anyone getting confused, right? because that 786 goes all the way up there, right? Our first major level of resistance, golden pocket, value area high, and then you also had these daily horizontals as well. But you put in the higher high on your price action, the lower high on your momentum waves, and at that point, this is where you look for shorts, right? Everybody gets bullish here, and they look to take longs on a fake breakout because they just see the green candles and they think that it is going up, right? But for us, this was not anything really that exciting. It was really just a rotation of this value area into key resistance with those bearish confirmations. We were able to get that short set up in the Discord, got accepted back into the range, came back down to the POC, big drop down, all the way back down to the value area low. And then this is pretty much where I dropped that market update. I believe it was on Christmas Eve. Can somebody, shout out to Tony D. Can you let me know, was that market update on Christmas Eve? I think it was. I'm not 100% sure. But once we got down there, we were saying, hey, if we lose this range, if we're not just going to continuously rotate this value again, right, as we had in the past, where are we going to be looking down to? And that is where we simply hide that local range and we pull up our larger main range, which is sitting down here where we had our key level, sitting at this daily naked point of control, where we got the bounce from earlier today. So just in the grand scheme of things here, guys, we are simply looking at almost the exact same levels that we have been looking at for 2 weeks, right? I hate to be like everyone's like, but how could it be boring? Like, we just got a huge pump to the upside. When you look at the charts in terms of the volume profile, guys, these moves are just not only like to be expected, but you have the context, right? People are just like, oh my God, we're pumping. It's like, in the context of everything, we're probably going to get rejected at these key levels, right? And we did. And this is what we capitalized in the premium Discord, right? We were able to make money whether price is going up or down, right? And when you have the context of these volume profiles and you know where you're hitting support and where you're hitting resistance, you can long this and short this, bing bong it up and down both ways, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And these volume profiles will help you remove some of the emotion from these big pumps, right? Like, I mean, I guess you can consider this a big pump, right? I think it's like 5% we've learned here on the channel. 5% is really the move that you need to get people like really talking. They're like, oh my God, we're pumping. Oh, and you know, we get a 5% dump to the downside. Everybody's scared. The bull market's over. But as experienced traders here, especially if you've been in the candle mafia for a few months now, or since the bear market, whatever it is, if you've been in the candle mafia, you know, like, we don't get over emotional about these moves, right? Like, this is how most people trade, and this is why most people lose money. You know, again, people think this is a huge, exciting move up, right? But if you didn't know, you were just simply rotating value into a key level of resistance, right? Looking at your money flow coming out here on the 30-minute for a very likely rotation back down to the lows. You know, you're just looking at this like, I'm going to long it, and then you get wrecked, right? So context is always going to be king, but these key levels are exactly the same. If we continue down here, guys, the next major zone is sitting between 90,450 and about 89.7, right? Or 89.8, I'll call it. If we come down there, I'm going to be viewing this as a volume profile, right? If we can get bullish confirmations down here, this is where I will be looking for longs next. And I will show the trades in just a second. But in the grand scheme of things, right, that's our overall range, right? Just so nobody gets, super confused or anything like that. Let's see. Shout out to Papi Chulo. Yo, shout out to Papi Chulo. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, Frankie, can you take a look at Jasmine? Thanks, bud. Shout out to Papi Chulo. We could try to take a look at Jasmine for you. No problemo, bro. Quick public service announcement, guys. Super chats do not guarantee we look at your altcoin. I don't want anyone wasting their money on a super chat. But you don't have to super chat your altcoins. Obviously, we could see these a little better, but it does not guarantee we look at your coin. But I will try for you, Papi Chulo. We'll try to take a look at Jasmine today for you. We will get into the altcoins in just a minute. Let's see. Shout out to Pro Noob, said when 150K. We'll talk about the bullish case here, guys. I'm going to go over the bearish case, take a look at some of these lower levels in a second. But we'll take a look at, some of the higher targets as well. But I'm going to give you guys my overall thoughts first here after I take a sip of this black coffee, which I think is going to be burning hot. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Why does your coffee machine make it undrinkably hot? I do drink it black, though, so that I don't have any milk cooling this off. Oh, my God. All right, so continuing on here, guys. This is the overall context. Where were we on Thursday? So Thursday, I believe is the last live stream before I took my trip. Yeah, we were coming back down to this volume profile, back down to the low. I mean, we just been going sideways here, guys. So, if you're out there scared, just understand, right? Like, this is nothing really too crazy is happening. Take it from someone who's been looking at Bitcoin for years on the chart and has, gone through being a super emotional trader and investor to just, sticking solely to the information and the data on the charts. Like, this is like nothing crazy, right? We're just kind of bing-bonging around. And if you're in crypto, you have to be you have to understand that you have to be able to endure these moves, right? Like the moves up and the moves down, right? Like you have to understand like this move up, although it's exciting, right? Like for Bitcoin, this really isn't that meaningful of a move, right? So just keep that in mind. And then again, same thing with the moves to the downside, right? Like this isn't that scary, right? We're just ranging around here. And I like to give you guys that peace of mind here, coming from a chart perspective, right? This isn't just my opinion that we're ranging sideways. Like that is the fact of the matter, right? Like this isn't just me saying like, oh, we're ranging because that's what I want to say, right? Like this is literally what we're seeing on the charts, right? And showing it in the context of this kind of puts it into perspective for you, right? But if we do wind up coming down here, like I said, we're just going to be looking at this as a volume profile. Anytime we deviate below that volume profile, it's looked at as an undervalued asset. That's where we like to look for longs. Anytime we deviate above, this is where we like to look for shorts. Let me see if I can pull up our short position here. Same short position that I was looking at on the update earlier today. Can you guys see this? Let me just make sure. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, up about $4,600, but we're up a little over $6,000 here. Yeah, up about $4,700 unrealized. Got $1,600 locked in. I'm probably going to take a little bit more profit on this. But yeah, we are sitting short here from $106,000, right? So this has played out very, very nicely. And then the premium Discord was able to get in up here on our short setup. Although I did not take this trade, this new short position from here in the premium Discord. I was not actively trading last week. I took this 2 weeks ago, right? Back on, December probably 17th was when I took this. So I was just holding that trade as I was already in it. But I did not take that new trade because I wasn't trading last week as it was with family. But sitting here in this position over on Femex. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. If we continue to play out here, I'll talk about some of these lower targets right now, right? So we deviate below here. We're going to be looking at this. And in my opinion, right, once we come down to this value area low, this is not going to be the best place to start looking for shorts, right? The places to look for shorts are on the pumps to the upside, guys. You don't want to be shorting the bottom. And if we do come down here, whether we get a wick down to this daily, which is another key level you want to keep an eye on, it is coming in at about $87,347. This is good backup support if we lose this value area. Now, if you're new here, I just want to go over this very, very quickly because I know the Mafia is extremely, extremely familiar with this. But just to keep the new Mafia kind of up to speed here. When you're looking at a volume profile, you can simply, if you have an RSI, right, and your RSI gets into an overbought territory or an oversold territory, this is very similar to how I view the volume profiles. Between the value area high and the value area low is considered the area of balance, right, or the fair value for the asset. Anytime you deviate above, you can look at this as an overvalued asset. This is where you look for shorts to go back into the range, back down to the POC, and back down to the value area low. Once you go below that value area low, right, because what happens here? Everybody is FOMO longing. They think Bitcoin's going to $1 million up only. There's no corrections in the market. They all long, leaving a lot of liquidity down below to fuel the big drop to the downside. But what do? Right? We know in the CandleMafia, when we deviate above these volume profiles, especially if you get bearish confirmations, you're going to be looking for those short positions. Not getting overly bullish, not longing the top, but looking for shorts. And this is very hard, especially on a YouTube channel where maybe not everybody is as experienced trading. They're going, why is this guy looking for shorts as we're pumping to the upside? Obviously, this is bullish because green candles. But that is really not what you want to do. You kind of want to counter trade that whole mindset. When you're getting big pumps to the upside, there's no real opportunity to look for a long up here, right? Unless you get a pullback into a higher low, which would likely come in at a golden pocket or 786, unless you're looking to long a retracement, right? Like even here, unless you're looking to long this retracement, even these were really hard to get in on. But, for the most part, unless you're looking for to long these higher lows in an aggressive uptrend, the only option you have as a trader is to look for short positions. It doesn't mean that you're bearish and you want it to go to zero, because you could just be looking to short this thing to put in a higher low and continue back to the upside. But when you have a big pump, everyone's looking to long, but you want to be looking for short positions, right? This is at least how most traders do it, right? Not just me. It's not a secret, right? Like anyone who's been trading for more than 3 minutes pretty much learns that somewhat quickly, right? They understand that like, oh my God, it only takes a few times of longing the top being like, maybe I should just, eventually it gets very hard, right? Because eventually, when you get the dumps, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to long, it's scary, right? But eventually, you long the top enough, you start to get the cojones to really start looking for the longs on the pushes to the downside. And hopefully these live streams kind of help you guys see that. But with all that being said, right, again, deviate below, that's where we're looking for the long confirmations, right? So, really this daily horizontal at about 89,869 is going to be that big level. Maybe we deviate below. If we do have this daily level sitting at 87,350. Could act as some backup support, right? So maybe, I'll be honest here, guys, there's not many confirmations that I can front run here. Oftentimes I will say, hey, if price comes down puts in a low here. Maybe we could put in a bullish divergence, but it's really kind of hard to call these confirmations with the way that the price action looked and market cipher B. It's kind of hard to front run these confirmations. So I'm going to actually set these alerts right now, right? So I'm going to set an alert here on this value area low. If we do enter this zone, right? Long BTC, right? Question mark, right? I'm not just like setting a long limit order down here to automatically long. But I just want to be alerted when we hit this level, so then I can come to the charts and search for a long position, right? Look for those actual confirmations that I like to see. If you're, I know a lot of people are going to be like, Frankie, what are the confirmations? What is that magic thing that you see that just guarantees price goes up or down? Now, obviously, the confirmations do change based off the situation, right? And like I said, right now, if I could front run a confirmation down here, I would, but it's very hard, right? Like market cipher B, it doesn't really look like it's set up to pull up any bullish divergences. So we'll just have to wait for that level to get hit. So that's what I'm doing, right? Sitting on my hands, waiting for this key level to get hit. If it does, I will look for those confirmations with the premium Discord to potentially take the long position. And then, even if we deviate down below, let's say we don't get any confirmations here, we'll see if we can get another drop down to test that backup support at 87,350, right? 87,350. And then that's really the support, right? We have a decent amount of local support down here. And even if we deviate below this, there's kind of two levels that I'm looking at here. This $87,350 level, as well as right down here, right? This wick down here at about 85K. This is a level that we've brought up many times on the channel, right? Ever since we were coming down here, right? We were looking at that $85,000 level. Honestly, ever since we came down here. Because if we come down, right, this is essentially the start of this overall consolidation. So if we do wind up coming down to that level here, guys, at 85K, let's say we come down here, no bullish confirmations. The short from 106,000 is absolutely slapping at this point. But if we lose this daily, really what we want to see here is a potential, right? If we do come down to this $85,000 level, and we're not going to see the bigger drop down to some of these lower targets, which I will go over in a second. But if we come down to that $85,000 level, guys, we could potentially be looking to just sweep those lows, right? Sweep that low into this golden pocket for a potential bounce to the upside. I'm not going to try to front run exactly what's going to happen there. It's an if this, then that statement. I'm not guaranteeing that we come down to 85K. We'll take a look at market cipher B in a second. But these are just the key levels down below locally, right? Value area low, we start to lose this range. Last kind of hope is that $87,350 daily. Start losing that. You're hoping for, some kind of sweep of these lows. But really, once you start losing this volume profile decisively, guys, I'll be honest with you, the next macro targets, right? The next higher time frame, longer term targets. I don't want to say it. Smash that like button if you want Bitcoin to go up. But I will say, $82,000 to $80,000, guys, is not out of the question. We talked about this in the market update earlier today. Lose these levels, right? The next major stop, in my opinion, could be this zone sitting between $82,698 and $80,000 even. We have a golden pocket, right? And this is an important golden pocket pulled from essentially the breakout of the 7-month. Let me hide some of these daily naked points of controls really quickly. Hide the dailies, we'll have the MPOCs, right? So, where we had this 7-month consolidation, right? This fib is pulled from right where price got impulsive and really broke the highs to put Bitcoin into price discovery. And I will say, I'm not saying we're guaranteed to get down there, but I will say it is not by any means out of the question to see Bitcoin come down and test these levels, right? If things get a little bit more bearish, $80,000 to $82,000 is really the next significant level. And if I just pull all this stuff off the charts and we pull up the higher time frame naked points of controls, guys, we're holding on to this tap daily naked point of control right now. And if we start breaking down, the next significant naked points of controls are coming down here in that confluent area, right? $82,000 to $80,000. So there's not much below us. Once we start losing 85,000, there's not much down below. Really, once we start losing these lows, there's not much down below until 80 to 82,000, right? And again, you have that golden pocket and the 2 daily naked points of controls. On top of that, we also have I'm actually just going to hide some of these manually. We also have an anchored VWAP, I believe, from the absolute low here of this range. Let me just make sure I have this pulled to the exact candle. Boom. And you can see, right, our anchored VWAP is also coming in through this zone, right? So if price did come down there, this anchored VWAP is likely going to move up into this zone, giving even more confluence to that level with the golden pocket, 2 daily naked points of controls, and the anchored VWAP. Huge, huge, huge level to hold. And in my opinion, I mean, I pray that we hold this level, guys, because if we don't hold this level, things could get ugly, right? We start losing that. The next daily naked point of control, which is also confluent with our 786 Fibonacci retracement and a weekly naked point of control sitting right down here, getting closer to $75,000, right? If we're looking for, and again, in the higher time frames, it's not uncalled for to see Bitcoin pull back to this larger golden pocket, right? Like this would not even, like, think about how scared people would get here, right? This is like, if people are calling, $92,500 a bear market, imagine what they're going to be saying at 80K. And I'm just here to tell you that this is a golden pocket retracement that, if seen, right, if we come down here, test these levels, it's not impossible to just see that continuation to the upside. This is like still a healthy pullback in my opinion. Now, this is where it kind of gets dicey because, as we always say, right, in a bull market, we oftentimes will see pretty significant corrections, right? Like, new people to the market might get really scared by this stuff. But as someone who's been in crypto for 3 cycles now, right? This is my 3rd cycle. Hide some of these local levels, right? We see 25, 15, 17, 32% corrections in a bull market. This is, bull markets are not just one giant green candle. There are ups and downs. And we come back to our 2021 bull market all the time to look at this with you guys, right? Like, we get this little pullback here, right, from, that's 17%. This pullback was about 31%, right? We get another one here at about, I think, 25%. And then, obviously, this is a little bit of a specific scenario. This was a 50% pullback, but again, in my own opinion, this really was the all-time high. I know we put in a $1 all-time high here, a few bucks above it, but this was really just a liquidity sweep, in my own personal opinion. All the sentiment peaked out back here in April. Every metric was pointing to the top being right here. And then this, in my opinion, was some kind of inflated dead cat bounce, or as a trader, what we like to call it, is a swing failure pattern, right? We just like to see that, as we know, right? A lot of people were probably shorting here, right? As we were getting the pullback. And then if you're shorting anywhere on these candles, where is your stop loss going to go, right? You short here, stop loss is going to go above the high, right? If you're shorting here, stop loss, right? Or even if you're shorting like here, anyway, on the way down, your stop loss is going to be, somewhere above these highs. And then what happens? Price comes up, sweep, and then you get the real bear market to come in. So this was actually a pretty big pullback. This was like, I think 55%. Yeah, 55, 56% pullback here. But this was a very specific scenario. So in my opinion, if we do pull back to $80,000, guys, this is kind of getting to the upper limit, in my opinion. Well, golden pockets, I'm okay with, right? 25% correction, 26% correction. We've seen this in bull markets before. I wouldn't be freaking out. If we lose that golden pocket, the next level we'll be looking at is going to be that 786 weekly naked point of control, daily naked point of control confluence, right? Once we start playing around with this zone, guys, we're getting into that 31% area. And something I was talking about with the premium Discord earlier today was simply talking about how, as Bitcoin matures as an asset, the pullbacks, right, whether you're talking about bear market pullbacks, bull market highs, percentage-wise, are going to be less and less intense, right? As that market cap grows, it's going to get a little bit harder and harder to move that needle, right? It's going to be harder to move that price as the market cap gets bigger, which means pullbacks and pumps get less aggressive over time, right? So, if we're looking at 35, 32% corrections in the last bull market, if we start to pull back to this 786 and we're getting to 30, 31, 32%, this is where I really want to see price start to bounce, right? And like I said, there is a lot of confluence here. You have the weekly naked point of control. You have the 786. You're also getting very, very close to retesting the highs of this overall range that we traded in for 7 months. This is going to be big, big support. There's a lot of confluence here. And, again, if we came down there, you really want price to start to bounce, because once you start breaking below this, you're at risk of getting accepted back into this value area. And I'll even pull the actual volume profile for you guys to show you. If I pull this volume profile, it's a little lower. But, $70,500 is that value area high. So if we don't really hold this gold 786 and we start dipping below these highs and we start getting accepted back into this older range, that's going to be really bearish for Bitcoin, in my opinion. And on top of that, you've filled and lost the CME gap that we have down here, right? Which we all know. I'm not even going to go over it because we all know that CME gap is sitting there. Which, again, is kind of why I'm okay coming down to this level, but I'm not okay breaking it. But at that point, you're also, you come down to $70,000. That's a 35% pullback. then you start to get like, hey, the asset's much more mature. It's more mature than last cycle, and now we're seeing a bigger pullback in the bull market than we've seen in the last cycle, which is a little bit weird, right? That's where alarms start to go off. And another thing to bring up here, which is very easy to look at. I know all these levels can get very confusing to a new person, but another thing you guys can keep a lookout for is the bull market support band, right? It's a very simple indicator. It's on TradingView. ZK Dev. I have no affiliation with these people. Don't even know who they are, but shout out to them. But the bull market support band, it's just a series of moving averages. And where does this come in at, guys? It comes in between 82 and 77.6, right? Which is very confluent with that first zone of support here, with our anchored VWAP as well, right? So, that bull market support band really is in confluence with these zones as well. So, I'm okay if the bearish case plays out, coming down here, playing with these levels. I'd love to hold the golden pocket. If not, I really want to hold that 786 with all that confluence we just looked at. And again, that bull market support band is likely going to be somewhere in there as well. Once we start losing that, again, just whether you're looking at these zones or the bull market support band, once you start losing this, it starts to get a little bit worrisome for Bitcoin, in my opinion. Not even thinking about the fact that, that would be a bigger percentage correction that we've seen in the previous bull market. That's kind of where I start to worry a little bit, right? And this is going to be a difficult point. This is going to be a difficult situation, to be quite honest with you. And the reason for that is because if we pull our range here, I'm just going to extend these to the right real quick. If we take a look at this range, guys, if we get accepted back in here, guys, this could be brutal. I don't think that we're going to see that happen. If we see this volume profile get filled again, like, that's not good. And that honestly is going to be us seeing something that has never happened before. And in my opinion, would be definitely cause for concern. I think there's a good chance, right, that we're either going to hold in here. If we lose this, we will very likely hold some of these levels. This would be a beautiful, beautiful amount of fear for the new people, right? Sell me your cheap coins. The institutions buy it up and then send it back to the upside. So, again, I am not calling for $70,000, but I just want you guys to be aware of these levels down below. $82,000 to $80,000. I just want you guys to see all that confluence. Daily naked points of controls, golden pocket, bull market support band, anchored VWAP, tons of support in here, right? And this would be healthy in my opinion. If we saw that happen, who knows? Maybe we dip down there, we head up to 150K. Who knows? But we'll assess the situation when we get there. But I want you guys to be aware of these levels, understanding what is in here and why I would actually be worried if we start to break them. So that's the bearish case, right? Like, hopefully we don't need to see that happen. Hopefully we could just, live up in here and stay in the larger volume profile that we're sitting in right now. But those are the key levels I'm looking at. I'm going to come in here and check on, let's see. Shout out to, I don't even know how to say that, bro. I don't know I don't know what to get Sugar. I'm calling it Sugar. Shout out to Sugar. I like your profile picture, bro. He says, yo, man, insights on BTC chart are top-notch. Love your analysis. Can you check out Kovu? Red Siberian Husky for us. Thanks, G. Yo, shout out to you, bro. I will try to take a look at that. If I can find a chart for it, I will attempt. There might not be a chart. We might have to go to another platform or something like that. But I will try my best to take a look at that for you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you. And I did not hit the button. Thank you for the super chat. But yeah, we'll try to take a look at that for you. No problemo. Let's see. And we will be getting to the altcoins in just a minute, guys. Okay, so let's take a look at that. And shout out to Spiritual Trader. I think that's what that says. Your name is cut off. But he says monthly graveyard doji and weekly bear div. Frankie, is it the end though? Yeah. So let's take a look at that, right? Because I know a lot of people are confused, or not confused, concerned is what I meant to say, about the monthly shooting star here, right? And you are 100% based looking at this as a potential bearish sign. Now, here's the thing. This monthly candle has 1 day and 1 hour, right? So we are about to close this. But I will say this. If this confirms like this, it is not the most bullish sign, right? And that is just fact. You can call these a shooting star, graveyard candles, whatever you want to call it. But anytime you see a long wick on the top of the candle like this, especially on something like the monthly, it could potentially be a bearish sign, right? Oftentimes you see these, you can call it a bearish hammer candle. Let me just go ahead. I'm actually going to, let me hide some of this stuff. I'm actually going to get rid of this. Bada boom. Get rid of this. Bada boom. So, come on. There you go. If you see anytime you have a long wick on the top with a small body at the bottom, guys, I personally call these bearish hammer candles, right? And these oftentimes show up as reversal signs, right? And we actually saw this happen on the weekly during the bear market of 2021, right? There's a pretty good example of one here, right? You have somewhat of a long candle down here or up here with a small body before a reversal, more clearly shown right here, right? You get a big wick at the top, you come down, you close your body of the candle, and you just continue to the downside, right? You try to come up, and the reason this is bearish, guys, is because it shows that the bulls tried to push price up, and they just got completely eaten back to the downside. Now, does this mean that it's the bear market? I would not look at sure, it could be bearish if we confirm the candle like this, which, again, in a day and 1 hour, we're really going to need to start pumping up here in order to invalidate that. But if we were to confirm that, is that enough for me to say that's the top? Not really, right? Like, I can't just base my decisions based off one candlestick pattern, but it is definitely something I will keep an eye on. Now, another thing that people have been asking about is the weekly bearish divergence, which we have looked at tons of times on the channel with our higher highs on price action and our lower highs on our momentum waves. This is a weekly bear div. However, right, this is very similar to the signal that we saw that called the top back here in 2021, right? Price put in a higher high on price action and a lower high on our momentum waves, right? Money flow was creeping to the downside. Everybody was calling for 100K. We saw the weekly bear div. I did not have my channel back here, I don't believe. I'm pretty sure I started my, what is this? I started my channel basically in this kind of bear flag. But we see this bearish divergence. We see the money flow coming out. Everybody thought 30K was the bottom. We were going up to 100K. But what do we see? We see the bear div. We see the money flow coming out on the weekly, which we know is very bearish, right? Money flow indicates a longer-term trend. Remember that. And what happens, right? We just wiggle our way up here. We have the bear flag, right? We also had a weekly blood diamond here on Market Cipher A. If you guys remember, this was the first time we ever saw a blood diamond. I got absolutely roasted in the comments for talking about this and saying that it could be the start of the bear market. And I'm glad I stuck to the information and the data on the charts and didn't just go with the crowd calling for 100K. Because that wound up, again, even from a cycle perspective, this was very, very likely to be at least some kind of a significant top, right? We had seen, massive all-time highs. Sentiment had peaked out on this first top, and then on the second top, it came nowhere near, kind of giving us not only a divergence on price and momentum and price and money flow, but also giving us a divergence on price and attention, which is something that not a lot of people, I don't think, look at. But that wound up being a very bearish sign. Now, the difference here, in my opinion, is where this was happening in the cycle is much different than where this weekly bearish divergence is happening right now. It is a bearish divergence. It is confirmed, and we looked at it saying it could cause more downside, and we are getting a pullback, right? But it is slightly different here, right? Just because of where we are in the cycle. That is one big thing that does not match up. If we were to see this be the absolute top and give us a massive move to the downside, is it impossible? Obviously not. Nothing is impossible, guys. And, hey, if this is the top, we're short from 106K. So I wouldn't be too upset about that. But, I'd be upset for the spot bags. But it's not enough to say it's the top right now. Yeah, and again, if we see those signs come up, if we start breaking those key levels, then, maybe we can, use that information and, change our plan. But as of right now, it is a bearish sign, weekly bearish divergence, but I just don't know if it's enough right now based off the 4-year cycle, based off the timing of things right now. I just don't know if it's a strong enough confirmation to just say, like, hey, this is, oh, my God, run for the hills, it's all over. But again, I don't want anyone thinking, like, it's guaranteed to go up because of that either. We might see something that's never happened. This is always a risk of any bull market, right? But in my opinion, nothing on the charts has indicated that this is the absolute top forever, or at least for the next bear market. But once we do see something like that happen, I will be the first one to let you guys know on one of these live streams or a market update. But yeah, it's important to understand some of the differences here. It is a bear div. I love that you guys are pointing that out. It's a bear sign. We are getting a pullback, and it could pull back more, right? Even if we come back here, we did get some weekly bearish divergences during other bear markets during the previous bull market as well, right? Right here, right? We had our high, we had our higher high, and then sure, we got a big pullback, right? But, we wound up coming up and putting in that all-time high. Again, that's more of a liquidity grab in my opinion, but, this wasn't just the top immediately, right? Like, price likes to move around. This was actually wound up being a pretty long-term, this was, basically just a big range. And this is how I'll be trading, right? if we got a big pullback here, I will simply just be trading this as a large range, right? Just like it was back here. But again, is it enough to say it's definitely the top? Kind of hard to say, right? Like it's cyclically, that would not be the case, right? And I do think that, there's probably a good chance that we stay range bound or even see a little bit more of a pullback until we move into the new year. And then maybe we start to see some things start to pop off as we come into the new year. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents there. You do have the doji candle, you do have the bearish hammer, you do have the weekly bear div, which is confirmed. But yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I would call the top there. Very well could be, but not enough on the charts here for me to really be that worried. This stuff takes time to develop. So there you go. That's what I'd be looking at as far as that. Thank you for bringing that up because I do. That's my specific thoughts. Like for sure, bearish signal, right? Like I'm not sitting here saying that's not bearish because bull market. But there are some differences here that I think are important to realize. Yo, shout out to hang on. Shout out to Do. Thank you for gifting those 5 Frankie Candles memberships. I appreciate you, bro. Oh no, my speakers aren't on. This is like a silent celebration. I think you guys can hear it though. Shout out to Dude. Thank you for giving those 5 Frankie Candles memberships. I appreciate you, bro. JP said you're the GOAT. We love your streams since Bitcoin crypto. Love from Portugal. Yo, shout out to Portugal out here. It blows my mind that there are people from all over the world who know who I am. It's like really blows my mind. It's funny, over the holidays, I was with my family eating dinner, and somebody asked AI who Frankie Candles was, and AI knew who I was, which I actually kind of already knew. But the first time I found that out and AI knew who I was like, this is the craziest thing ever. And my AI even knows who Mrs. Candles is, which is crazy. But yeah, thank you. Shout out to Portugal. Thank you for everybody viewing out in Portugal. And shout out to Watch and Listen. Said, I love your high energy. Keep up the good work. Yo, thank you for the nice comments, guys. I appreciate you. And my voice, I don't know why, my voice feels like it's about to go. I'm not going to lie. Probably because I haven't scream talked in about a week. And now my voice just can't handle it. But shout out to Watch and Listen. I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for the love. Smash the like buttons if you want to show some free. It's free 99. If you want to show some support to the channel, drop the likes on the channel right now, guys. And not only that, it could help you guys win some free Solana. We're literally just giving it away. Let's see. Let's see. Short from 107.8 this time, though. Yo, shout out to AZTV. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, and shout out to Gifted King said, you got to trade the charts, you got to trade the chart and not with your heart. Absolutely, 100%. There is no situation, I'm not saying it was never like this, but there is no situation where I am trading based off of how I feel, right? Like I do think even looking at your charts, there is some kind of like a gut feeling that you get, but it has to be based off charts, right? Like I'm not just, especially with the 4-year cycle. This is another big thing I want to kind of give, not a warning, but I kind of want to give this out to you guys. Just because the 4-year cycle has played out to a T almost, right, with slight deviations and slight quirks in each cycle. Obviously, we made a new all-time high before the halving. That's a quirk, obviously. They all kind of have their quirks. We have blow-off tops, double tops. Every cycle is a little bit different. But here's the thing. When it comes to the 4-year cycle, yes, this makes a lot of sense. When Bitcoin is harder to mine and the reward gets cut in half, it creates a supply shock. This is what sends the demand through the roof, which is what causes the big price increases. However, you cannot ignore that every time Bitcoin's been in a bull market, it's been tracking with traditional finance and the overall monetary policy. This is something that is unarguable, right? Like this is just simply how things have played out in the past and how like those conditions have always been in place in Bitcoin bull markets. So until, right? So here's the thing, right? If the 4-year cycle is saying, hey, there's no top timing wise until this date, right? Whatever it is, we can look into that maybe in a pre-recorded video I'll drop. But if you're going by the 4-year cycle, you have to understand this. If the monetary policy is not going to create an environment where risk on assets can run, chances are crypto will not continue to rally. If we see a black swan event and all traditional finance takes a dump, crypto is very likely to follow. If we see a situation where we go into a massive recession or we see some kind of black swan event and everything goes down and Bitcoin just keeps going up, that's where you can finally say the 4-year cycle is what moves Bitcoin. But up until now, it's always been on track with traditional finance. So it doesn't really disprove the 4-year cycle. But in order for it to be like locked in, proven for real, you have to see those things deviate, right? And I want to take a look at the DXY in just a second as well. So yeah, these are definitely big macro bearish signs. And I'll be honest with you guys. I am, and again, this doesn't mean I can't be wrong. But for the most part, like I just said, I am open to getting a move down to $82,000 to $80,000, right? So, I don't really love to say that like I'm bearish, right? Because I think context is important, right? Like if I say I'm bearish, a lot of people are probably going to think that I think 108,000 is the top of the bull market, right? And we're never going higher, or we're going to go into a massive bear market first. So I have to give the context here. So if we get that move down to 80K, like this is definitely in the cards, and that would make me somewhat bearish. But if we get down to 80K, I'm not saying that the cycle's over, right? Like I would probably be looking for longs down there, and we'll reassess the situation when we get there. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like if we see this daily, if we see this daily money flow continue out, right, it might not be looking good. 16-hour money flow, 12-hour money flow. These are other high time frame money flows that we've been looking at on the market update on Christmas Eve. Potentially, the red dot back here was what we were looking at for a continuation to the downside, right? If I pull up our main range here, right? Or actually, no, that was not the range we were looking at. We were looking at this range, right? As we were pushing up here, saying, hey, if we reject here, we're probably going to look for a continuation down. And why would we look for a continuation down? Or if we lost this low, we would look for a continuation down. We have this 12-hour red dot with our money flow trending out over time. If this money flow wants to come into a bigger red wave and we don't just hashtag bull market out of here and fake out into the red, which, by the way, is likely in a bull market, so you have to be careful of that situation. But if this money flow continues out, we're going to be looking for lackluster pushes to the upside, lower highs, continuations down. Right, and maybe another lackluster push up before another continuation down if this money flow comes into the red. Money flow indicates the overall trend. So yes, 100% weekly bear div, monthly bear hammer, totally bear signals, right? But these are things that we were looking at as they were printing, right? As they were forming. This is part of the reason why I was looking for shorts up here at $106,000, right? This is how I catch these shorts on the way up, right? You want to look as they're coming up here. So weekly bear div, right? We're in at 106K. And then that weekly bear div, in case this is some kind of a bull market bear div where we just get a little pullback, even if it is to 80K, we're short from up here almost at the top, right? Not 108, right, but 106, whatever it is, 106.5K. You're never going to snipe the top every single time. But these are some of the things we can look at. Now, shorter term, if we're going to get a bigger correction, again, let's say we are going to get a bigger bounce here. 2-day green dot, I think, is the best bet that we have to get a much bigger pump to the upside to maybe fill this range again. But until that happens, guys, I will say, 8-hour money flow coming back out. I am playing this very level to level, right? It's very hard to kind of just make these huge, shout out to Bullish on Parade, said CME gap at $6. Bring it to me. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. Oh, my God. Imagine Bitcoin flash crashes to $6. That would be insane. Shout out to Gifted Kings. Says, honestly, is there any point at this time to really hold any alts? Shouldn't we be trading them range to range? Shout out to Gifted Kings, right? I do a little bit of both, right? It really depends on your situation, right? Not a lot of people, or I shouldn't say not a lot of people, but a lot of people don't have the time, right? They have full-time jobs, they have families, they don't have the time to sit and look and actively trade these ranges. If you have that time, right, and you're learning from someone like me, or you're in the Discord, whatever it is, this is basically what we do, right? A lot of my money is tied up in longer-term spot bags, but I take a small portion of my capital, and that is what I trade the ranges with. This is what I day trade, I scalp, I take shorter-term swing trades with to grow those accounts and then withdraw the profit and then dump those into longer-term spot bags. So, yeah, it really depends on your situation, right? Some people don't have the time. Some people are longer-term investors. They want to hold their coins. They believe in their utility plays long-term, 10 years. They're just dollar cost averaging in, and they're just making money over time. But for me, as an active trader, trading is my active income, right? Trading is my job. I know a lot of people like to make it seem like you lay on a beach, you click buy, you click sell, boom, you're rich. And I really hope that I never give that vibe off over here when I show my trades. I know a lot of times, like, we'll pull up a trade, I'll be up a few $1,000s or whatever it is. It took me a very long time to get to this point. TA and trading is a very difficult skill to learn how to do, right? Or learn how to master. And hopefully this channel helps expedite your learning process. But this is active income, right? I have to work for this money. I have to do the TA. I have to take the trades. I have to manage the trades, right? I have to manage my capital. So this is active. I'm working for this money. So then I can re-roll this into other things like my long-term spot crypto bags, as well as other things to grow more passively over the long term. But if you don't have time to make trading your full-time job, because again, it takes a little bit of some people it takes shorter than, for me, probably like a year and a half before I started really understanding what I was doing. But for some people it's shorter. If you have good resources, I like to think we're one of the best resources out there for you guys to learn from my mistakes and expedite your trading process or your trading journey. But yeah, it really depends. If you don't have the time to sit and look at the charts all day, you might want to go with a different strategy. But absolutely, bro, that is a valid, if you know what you're doing, it is a valid way to make money for sure. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Billy, said time to flat smack that like button. I said it, not Frankie. Yo, shout out to Crypto Billy. Let's go, baby. Crypto Billy said it, not me. Smash that like button. Let's go. We're going for 1,000 likes. If we get 1,000 likes, we'll give away $100 in Solana. So smash it up. Wait, Frankie, you're not on a beach? Shout out to Tony Roaz. Yeah. No, guys, believe it or not, I know this set does look somewhat sunny, and it doesn't look like a dark dungeon. But yeah, it's, listen, do you get to a point where, like here's the thing, right? My goals a long time ago are much, and the way I felt about my trading a long time ago is much different than now, right? There was a time where if I could get $100 in profit on one trade over a couple days, I kind of felt like that. I felt like that was awesome, right? I was like, hey, I made $100 the last 2 days, or I made $100 today, right? And I used to have to work an entire day to get something like that, right? And now I'm at the point where, sometimes I'm up what I used to get paid in a week, and I feel like, right? So it's never, you're never going to get to a point in your trading, in my opinion. I think it's an endless destination, right? Like you always have to move the goalpost is always moving, right? You're never going to get, there's never going to be a point where you're just laying on a beach and you're looking at your chart and you're like, this is definitely going to go up. And then you hit buy, you make $10,000, you hit sell, and then you're like, it's definitely going to go down. It's never that, right? Like this is a fake dream that influencers sell you that probably don't actually trade. They sell you this thing where it's like, hey, sign up for my course. You can lay on a beach, hit buy and sell, use my indicator, and you make $1 million. It's super easy. You don't have to do any work, right? It's not how it works. But I like to show you guys the raw and explain to you guys the raw reality of trading. It takes a lot of hard work. It's not one 5-minute tutorial that you watch and then you make a ton of money. I wish I could say that, right? This would be beneficial if my goal were to make a ton of money off clicks and YouTube views or whatever they have, right? Indicators, all that, right? Like that would be in my best interest, but that's not. My main interest is to help you guys actually become profitable traders, and that starts with the truth. And the truth is, trading, you can 100% get rich trading. You could 100% make money trading. It is 100% not easy, right? It takes dedication. You have to watch videos, read, you have to practice, you have to sacrifice losing money in the market to learn from your mistakes. And that's why I always say, chase percentages, chase the charts, don't chase money. If you chase money, it'll run away from you. Learn mastering the skills, learn mastering the volume profiles, the strategies, learn mastering that, learn capital preservation, master those skills, and the money will then come. It takes time. Trust me, guys. I've blown up, I always say this, I've blown up more accounts than probably everybody in this chat right now all put together. I am a thick-headed Italian. I had to touch the hot stove 100 times before I stopped trying to breakout trade. Oh, we're breaking out. Buy. I got wrecked. Oh my God, short, it's coming down. I got wrecked, right? I was right in your shoes. I am not special. I did not go to school for this. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not professionally trained. I don't have some secret education, right? It's just hard work. It's just dedication. It's being obsessed with the craft, becoming good at it, and then executing that over time. And I still have bad days. I still have bad weeks, and sometimes even bad months. This is any real trader out there will tell you this is the case. But the beautiful thing is nothing easy, nothing good comes easy. So the fact that it does take a lot of work, and I've seen, well, you guys didn't really see this, but I saw myself go from losing money to making $100 on a trade, to making $500 on a trade, to $1,000 on a trade, to 5 to 10, whatever it is, right? Seeing that growth, I can tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. I am probably more thick-headed than you are, and if I can do it, you can do it. So there you go. There's my rant. Yeah, so there we go. Like the stream, y'all. Yo, shout out to TBJ. Smash that like button, guys. Let's get it. I've had my best 2 trading years since following and learning from Frankie. His methods and mindset is goated. Yo, shout out to Darren Does Things. Let's go. Shout out to Darren. I love that, bro. Thank you for saying that. But yeah, it is definitely possible. Trading is not a scam. I'm probably going to make a video titled Trading is a Scam and then explain why it's not a scam, but why most people think it's a scam. Drop a like on the video if you guys want me to make that video. But with all that being said, oh my God, shout out to Watch and Listen. Says Mex C now has 300x leverage on Bitcoin. That is insane. That is crazy. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, time in and you will make it, Nigel. Absolutely. It is not impossible. It is not a scam. But it's just not what everybody wants. Everybody wants a buy and sell indicator. If that were true, if I would have one, right? If my interest was to make people think trading was a fake. If I was trying to tell you the fake dream of trading, I would just make a buy and sell indicator and tell everyone they could just make $1 billion. No one would make money. I'd make a bunch of money on my indicator, but who does that benefit? It only benefits me. It doesn't go along with my morals. It doesn't go along with my life values. It's not the money, guys. I don't need the quick money. What I want to do, I need a bigger goal, right? I like to help people. It's these super chats that we get. Frankie, thank you. You've helped me learn. I've infinitely grown since I started following you. That's why I do this. This is how I measure my success. Not selling some indicator. Although we do have promotions and stuff like that. This is we do have deals on the YouTube channel, but that's not my main focus. My main focus is helping you guys. And anytime we push something paid, I always tell you, there are tons of free stuff out there. You don't need paid indicators, although they are helpful. And the ones that I like to use are paid. You can always look for very similar things that I look for on totally free indicators, such as the RSI, etc. The fixed range volume profile is free. If you can't get it on your free version of TradingView, me and LuxAlgo, who is a partner with the channel, we made a free volume profile that you can use. So if TradingView won't give it to you, your boy Frankie Candles will give it to you. Frankie Candles Essentials. Shout out to LuxAlgo. Check it out. Totally free. No strings attached. No email. No nothing. Just click it and get it on your chart right now. No BS. We're straight to the point here. We're New Yorkers, guys. We're New Yorkers. We're just straight to the point. But anyway, let's continue on. Let's see. Shout out to Jason T said, what about market makers who make $15 million trading patterns? Something seems weird there. Market makers do not trade patterns. I guess I can't really confirm that because I don't have a market maker here confirming it, but I could promise you they are not trading patterns. Trading patterns are a retail strategy. All right, let's see. All right, let's go ahead and continue on, guys. That's what we're looking at on Bitcoin. Those are all the key levels. I know I just went on a rant there, but we've had some time away. I want to hang out with the Mafia and spit some sauce to you guys. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Kaj. But let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and jump into some of the altcoins. First off, I'm going to take a look at Ethereum. Oh my God, my sensitivity on my mouse just changed. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum. And again, I covered this in the market update, guys. And we haven't really moved too much, so I will just kind of reiterate what I said on the market update. But for Ethereum here, very simply put, let me go ahead and hide upper range. Yeah, so very simply put, this is our volume profile. Remember, auction, market, theory, fair value, balance, balance. When we get imbalance out of this range, you look to seek out the previous area of fair value. This is, more often than not, what price likes to do. Not only does it seek fair value, but more often than just seeking fair value, or you could either create new balance, right? I'm going to spit this real quick, and we'll come down to these key levels. I'll let you guys know what I'm looking at on Ethereum. If you want the quick sauce, I won't even make you wait. Key level here, question mark. I'm kidding. Key level here, guys, $3,000 is going to be a big level. And I'll explain to you exactly why, because it's not just the key level that's important. It's the context and the confluence. But $3,000 is going to be a huge level for Ethereum if we continue down. But when it comes to the market, guys, the market ranges 80% of the time. When it's not ranging, it is, or in balance, right? That's basically the same thing. When you're ranging, you have balance. Buyers and sellers agree upon a price range, right? Then when you have imbalance, you get an aggressive trend. Then you'll have balance again. Price is ranging 80% of the time. This is only 20% of the time are you getting these impulses, right? Or imbalances. But when you get imbalance again, price will always, or not always, you have two things that price can do really. You could either create new balance in a new range, but more often than not, more than that, what it will do is it will seek out previous fair value, which is how we find these ranges. Fair value, you look at the volume profiles, you push those levels to the right, you extend them to the right, and you know once you get imbalance out of this value area, you're going to look for price to seek fair value again. And that is simply just a range. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I don't want to use special words. Essentially, you range, you lose the range, and then you go to a previous range, right? Chances are if you came down here and started ranging, there was probably a previous range there at some point before you came into this range, right? So you lose this, you imbalance, price is going to come find balance. When you imbalance out of here, price is going to find a previous area of balance, which is coming from all the way back here. This is basically how I trade, right? Then when you get imbalance out of here, we're probably going to seek out this previous area of fair value, which is how we're able to predict all these moves so accurately, right? I wish I could say I have a crystal ball, but I just don't, right? Don't investigate that. But it's really the volume profiles, guys. You get imbalance out of here. You look to get back into your volume profile, flip that level value area low to support, go to the POC, go to the value area high. Once you deviate above the high, that's your overbought scenario. This is where you could look for shorts to return back into the range, go to the POC, and then back down to the value area low. So at this point, the context here is that Ethereum is playing around inside this larger volume profile. We got accepted back into the range. You could even see the retest, the bearish retest. If I hide some of these other levels just to, whoops, let me hide this stuff just to clean up the chart a bit. Right? Once you deviate above, you find your bearish confirmations. This is where you're looking for short confirmations, right? Once you come back down, once you come back into this range, bearish retest. Once you can't get out of here, you're getting accepted into this area of balance, which makes the next likely place for price to go the POC of the range. Once you lose the POC, you're going to look to go to the value area low. We didn't come all the way down to the value area low, but you could see this POC is acting as strong resistance, right? So if we can't, right now, very clear TA on Ethereum. If you can't get back above $3,500, you could be and I'll say this, if you lose this daily here at 33.23, chances are the next big level to look at is going to be down here in this blue box, closer to $3,000. Now, here we have a golden pocket, we have a daily and a weekly horizontal, and we have the value area low of the range. And we know, based off the laws of the volume profile, just like this, it doesn't matter if you're going from the low to the high or the high to the low. It's all the same thing, right? Once you get back into the range, flip the low to support. Next stop is the POC. Next stop after that, value area high. Once you get in, get stuck in the range, next stop is the POC. And eventually, the next stop will be the value area low once you lose that POC. It's the same exact thing, but it's not always a straight line, right? A lot of times it's a long, drawn-out journey. Like here, we came up, we front-ran that POC, but what happened? We wanted to come down, test that value area low before finally hitting that POC, right? Then we get a pullback, but eventually, you get back into the range and go to the value area high. So it's a messy journey, but oftentimes you will see it happen. Not guaranteed, but more often than not, it does play out. So if we lose this daily, we could eventually see this move down to about $3,000. This is a key level of support where I would be willing to look for longs. Golden pocket, daily and weekly horizontal, and that value area low. Definitely the biggest area of support in my opinion. If we lose $3,000, 29.14 is your last level of defense. Once you lose that, probably looking at about 2,800, where we then have the 786 of that same fib pull, right? If you don't hold the golden pocket and you lose it, you're going to be looking to go down to that 786, which is also confluent with your value area low of the previous range, which ties back in to the auction market theory of, hey, once you impulse out of a range, you're going to seek out the previous area of balance. Where's that previous area of balance? It's sitting right down here. That's why these levels are extended to the right. And when you look at this in hindsight, balance, imbalance, balance, imbalance. And where do we go? Every time we lose balance, we come into that previous area. So it's always rotations of value, right? This is how I view the market and how we're able to call for this stuff. When we were down here ranging on Ethereum at these lower prices, what were we looking for? We were looking for imbalance out of this range to flip this value area low to support and then fill the rest of this value area. That's how we're able to predict that stuff. It's very simple, right? I don't want to say it's very simple, but very simply put, that's what we look for, right? It takes a long time. It takes a very long time to look to find this stuff on the actual chart and learn how it works, and there's a lot of nuance to it. I don't want anyone thinking that's just easy because that's just simply not the case. But there you go. But that's what I'm looking at on Ethereum for the most part, guys. Those are the key levels. You know, POC $3,500. That's the level you got to get above. If you can't break that, I'd be looking down to close to $3,000. More specifically, $3,080 down to about 29.14. All right, there we go, guys. Let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Leroy Essel, says it must be expensive to turn up the volume. Shout out to Leroy. Why are we quiet for some people? I don't understand what's happening. Let me change some settings here real quick, guys. Bear with me. I'm going to turn up the microphone volume. I'm probably blowing out eardrums now. Am I blowing out eardrums? Let me know. Am I blowing out eardrums? I'm going to lower myself here on OBS a little bit. But I think what's happening is when I talk away from the mic, this is a very tight pickup on this mic. All right, yeah, very quiet. That's so weird. Yo, shout out to Rob. Okay, that is much better. Okay, so I did change some things. Am I too loud or too quiet? Shout out to Lavert. I will take a look at AVAX for you, bro. You scared Rob. Let's go. Noticeably louder. It's good. Okay. Let's see. Too loud. Okay, I'm going down. I'm gonna keep it at this volume in case the chats are delayed. Hit me with the check marks if I sound good right now. Hit me with a green check mark. Let's see. Okay, so let's take a quick look at AVAX. Actually, first off, I want to take a look at Solana. So let's take a look here, right? I'm actually going to pull up the live stream chart real quick. I think it's over here. Nope. Where is my live stream chart? Come on. Oh, it's right here. No, where is my dang live stream chart? All right, I'll just pull it up here. Boom. All right, so let's take a look at Solana. Check mark. Okay. I like it. All right, we're going to roll with this. I'm going to have to okay, Diggity said some guy with no volume button just losing his mind. Perfect. Okay, perfect. It sounds good. Apparently it sounds good. I'm going to have to play with this after the live stream and see if I could change some things around. Shout out to Thusi. I don't know how to say your name in full, brother. But he says, chat says it's too loud until the bing bongs start dropping. Yeah, maybe I should just scream talk a little bit more. But anyway, let's take a look at Solana here, guys, real quick. Now, yeah, we were looking at this in the premium Discord earlier, but these are really the levels that we've been looking at on the live stream. And the consensus that, you know, at the end of the day here, guys, we are really back inside our volume profile here. Now, there's kind of two profiles that I'm looking at. This is the major one. We dropped down below that value area high, right? And we all know what that kind of looks like, right? You break down, bearish retest, can't get above. Another bearish retest, can't get above. If we get stuck under this value area high, we would look, and if we're going to get out of here, we've gotten the drop to the golden pocket, the 786. If we could get out of here, you need to flip that value area high. This whole purple box, you know, $202 is the top of that box. Flip that to support. You can look for the bigger move up. If not, right, if we can't get back above this value area high and we lose the 786, I would be looking for the start of a bigger move down towards about $140 for Solana. I am not calling for this to be guaranteed, but I will say getting stuck underneath this value area high is not the most bullish scenario. We really have to reclaim that value area high. And not only that, we have the anchored VWAP very confluent with this level as well. So this whole box is really what you want to flip in order to get another move up. But other than that, we have to keep in mind that we are potentially getting accepted back into this volume profile. Now, if we do drop down, I will say there are some other local levels we can look at. If we pull our volume profile over this old area of consolidation, this 786 value area high could be a big level to watch. Actually, mark that out, right? So, just like when we look at the Fibonacci retracements, if you lose the golden pocket, you look to the 786. If we lose the 786, this invalidates the idea of the higher low coming in on that fib level, which would mean we're probably going to get a bigger drop to the downside. And if you start losing that 786, you could at the same time be losing the value area high of this lower range, which would also call for a bigger move down to about $140. So this is the key zone. If we break $172 and we can't get back above it, I would be looking for a bigger drop down closer to $145 to $140, in which case I would really just be looking at things in terms of this volume profile. And in hindsight, it would just be like, well, hey, we deviated above the high. We had some bearish confirmation. We got sucked back in, bearish retest, and we got to move back down to the low. And right now, the POC and the value area low are very close to each other. POC, value area low, right? So there's no midpoint to stop here, really, right? We're probably just going to get that fill. And again, we do have that local value area high that I just pulled up, but for the most part, it's kind of in that same zone as this 786. So there you go. When we take a look at Market Cipher B, I'll be honest, guys, I wish I could see like much more of a clear signal here. But to be quite honest, right, like 2-day green dot printed didn't give us much upside. At least it's confirmed now. Hasn't given us much upside. Money flow is trying to come back out. Like, I am paying more attention to the key levels. We got to get above $202. If we can't get above that, I'd be looking for the bigger drop to the downside. 3-day VWAP it's kind of hard to take anything away from this, right? We're approaching the zero line, but it is rejecting slightly, so that's not really the best sign. But, you know, right now, if we could get above $202, that would give me the idea that we would probably continue to the upside. Now, obviously, we'll have key levels to the downside, which are already actually, no, they're not marked out here. Let me pull them, right? So if we do get that move up, depending on what money flow looks like at the time, right? Let's see, we do get out of this volume profile. If money flow is coming up, then maybe we can look for the bigger break to the upside. But we have to be aware of this golden pocket 786 between about 230 and 245 for a potential area to put in a lower high and continue to the downside. I don't want price to go down. This is just what I'm seeing on the charts. But we have to assess money flow if we get the push up, right? Right now, money flow is crossing over into the red. So if this daily money flow stays in the red, any bounce to the upside would have to be looked at as lackluster to put in a lower high and then continue breaking structure to the downside, which is where we could start targeting some of those lower levels. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, $202 is for sure the biggest key level. Let's see. Frankie's new chair. Yo, shout out to Frankie's new chair. Thank you for the super chat. Said, Frankie, Santa forgot to pick me up. Tony, block it. Tony, get him out of here. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Frankie's new chair. Said, Frankie, Santa forgot to pick me up and deliver me to you. When, Frankie? When am I coming home? I can hear the tears in your voice. Can I be honest with you guys? I am, there is a lot of things that, the true reason why I have not brought my new chair home is embarrassing. It's, kind of just, I want to blame it on time. I just don't have the time. But that is an excuse. It's all about self-responsibility and self-awareness, guys. I just kind of, and it is true, guys. You might think it's a bit that this chair sinks mid-live stream. It is not a bit. There's something wrong with this chair. Once in a while, it just decides to sink down midstream. I did that one on purpose. But it's, oh my gosh, almost fell off the chair, guys. God, my old chair's already trying to sabotage me. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Laziness, I guess you could call it, if you could consider buying a chair effort. I don't really know how much effort you have to put in. But yeah, I guess it's like mental laziness. It's like, I just don't feel like it. It's hilarious. But shout out to Tony D. Tony D, let's, I say this every stream. Tony D, let's get this new chair. Let's get this new chair going. Let's get this new chair. Let's see. I don't have time. It's an excuse. Your chair isn't a priority in your life. Yes. Shout out to K Diggity. At least this chair is not a priority in my life, or maybe my new chair. I don't want Frankie's new chair to be upset though. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Let's get a chair. Good idea. Shout out to Tony D. Tony D. If you can take off the rest of tomorrow. If you can drop a chair off at the studio, a nice one. I don't care where you get it. I don't care how much it costs. Take the card and let's just get a chair, bro. Let's just or you know what? Go pick up my new chair. I don't know if it's paid for just yet, but yeah, I don't know. Frankie's new chair. Did we pay for you yet? I don't even remember. But yo, shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob gifting 20 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Unbelievable, bro. Thank you so much for dropping those 20 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's get it. Showing some love to the Candle Mafia. Oh, there we go. If you just got a membership, guys, drop a Drop a candle in the emoji for Rob the Crypto Snob, guys. Please, for the love of God. The likes from tonight equal chair budget. Shout out to Tony D. Oh, God. Guys, the trades are... we're losing the trades, guys. We're losing the trades. We can't buy a chair. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Hashtag Givers Gain. Let's go. Shout out to Jesse. Let's get it. Love you, Frankie. Happy New Year. Yo, shout out to Decker. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Trying to get that sauce. Let's go. Good to hear from you, bro. And Happy New Year to you as well, bro. Good. I almost said good New Year. Good day to you, sir. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Good to see you in here, man. Let's see. I got one. Please give me a premium. Yo, shout out to Georgios. Tony said, no, I'm saying if we get 750 likes, we can get a nice chair. Okay, 750 likes. New chair will be here tomorrow, guys. 750 likes. We will take... I guess I don't know how much chairs are nowadays. I have a feeling my new chair is going to overcharge me, though, because he's been waiting for us to pick him up for so long. Yeah, it's Rob's birthday, and we nearly forgot. Wayne C. Yeah, shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Guys, wish him a happy birthday. It is his birthday, as you guys know, every single day here. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. We appreciate you so much, bro. Thank you for dropping some love for the Mafia. God, you guys are amazing. This is literally the best community on earth. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Gene Lee. Said Randy needed a chair for the Christmas on the Christmas live stream. Shout out to Randy Hipper. Did she get one? Did she get one before us? It wouldn't be hard to beat us to a new chair. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, let's continue on here. And we took a look at Solana. We can take a look at Sui. We got pretty sidetracked here on tonight's live stream, guys. But I did want to spend a good amount of time on Bitcoin just because it's been a while since we've checked in on a live stream. And yeah, we're just getting our bearings here. I missed the CandleMafia. We got to hang out and chat for a little bit. But let's go ahead and pull up Sui. Let's see what we got here. Where's our Sui chart? Here it is. All right, let's take a look here. Is this it? No, this isn't it. Oh, no, this is it. We just haven't looked at it in a long time. So let's get rid of this. Some of this stuff. Bada boom, bada boop, bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Is this our Sui chart? I think it is. Yeah, that is our Sui chart. Why do I feel like we had a different Sui chart? Let me just double check we don't have a Sui chart over here. This is the one I wanted to look at. Okay. So, yeah, this is the one we looked at last time. Or I don't know exactly when, but this is the newer one. So, I'm going to get rid of this local range. Although, just to point it out, this volume profile, although old, you can just see the levels are respected here, guys. From the low to the high, I can almost guarantee you probably have some kind of interaction on that POC. There it is. Before coming up to the high, deviating, coming back into the range, going to the POC and back down to the low. But it's a pretty hyper-local range, right? So I'm actually going to get rid of this because there's actually a much more significant range that we can look at. And it is going to be right here. So I'll mark this out. We will turn that neutral. And we will go value area low, we'll go POC, we'll go value area high. So, for the most part here, guys, I will be honest with you. These are kind of our, these are kind of the only tangible value areas, if I'm being honest, as we bing bong up here at these higher prices. So, they're kind of local. We'll come in on the 4 hour. Yeah, I mean, these are definitely going to be the ranges I would be looking at, for sure. So, let me just adjust that a little bit. For the most part here, let's come up to a higher time frame. 2-day VWAP. Again, for bigger moves up, guys, the 2-day VWAP, 2-day green dot is probably going to be the thing I'm looking at. Daily green dot looking to print here. So, as we deviate below this value area, I will say, do we have a 4-hour bull div here? Yeah. So, at this point, right, you technically have a higher low on your on your price. Oh, no, never mind. To your wicks, you have a bull div here. That's not really what I like to see. I like to see the bodies give it to you. Technically, you do have a bull div down here. It's not as strong as I would like it. I would like the bodies of the candles to make the lower low, not the wicks, although it is still technically a bullish divergence. But if you are able to reclaim the key level right now for SUI is going to be $4.25. You can reclaim this. If you get above this, that's where I would look for the bigger fill up to the POC and then eventually the value area high, the range. If we get rejected, and 4-hour money flow, kind of hard to take anything away. You're coming out locally. Technically, you're trending up. Money flow is a bit choppy here, if I'm being honest. 2-hour money flow, somewhat rounded. It's not the prettiest. Take a look at 1 hour. You're in the green. You're coming back into the red potentially here. It's a little bit choppy. VWAP coming, yeah. I'm going to go with the levels here, to be quite honest with you. I would pay more attention to the volume profiles. If you reclaim 425, I'd look for a potential bigger move up to look to go up through this range. I would maybe even look for, between about 454 up to the POC at 470. If you flip that level, I'd look for a move into 482 at the value area high. But those are the key levels. Value area low, 425, POC 472, $4.82 at the value area high. If we come back down and we lose this, value area high at $3.75 is key support. If you can't hold that as key support and you lose it, I would look to fill this lower range, getting closer to about 343 down to about 333. That would definitely, and these are really the only tangible ranges that I can find here on the chart. It's a little bit of a wonky range. Things are very, very choppy here. And especially on a new coin, it's not like, or a newer coin like SUI, it's not like I can, grab these older levels from 2021 and bring them to the, extend them to the right. So we're kind of a slave to these like local all-time high kind of levels. So there you go. Those are the zones, and you can screenshot these if you want to get them on your chart. These are the two major ranges that I would be looking at. For SUI, let's go. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to Jesse. What is going on, bro? He says, what are you talking about? New. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to Jesse. Said, Frankie finally gets a new chair. Hey, Jesse, you might not be new here. I mean, I know you're not new here, but I think that profile pic is new. Is that a new pic? Shout out to Jesse, who is also our permanent like police. So smash that like button if you don't want problems with Jesse. Trust me, you don't want problems with him. He'll ask you again to smash that like button. Let's see. Let's see. Shout out to I My Hero said, everybody welcome my new friend here, Jesse. Jesse is our new, not our new, but kind of our new official. Where'd Jesse go? Where'd he go? Hang on a second. Jesse is our new unofficial mod. You can see he has a wrench next to his name. Is it real? Is it counterfeit? We don't know, but we don't care because we love Jesse. Shout out to him. I think, did he leave? Oh, no, there he is. Smash that like button. Let's go. Shout out to Jesse, who is also not new to the CandleMafia. I'm lost. I don't know what you guys are talking about in chat. Let's see. Shout out to Dark Crash. Don't forget to drink your water, guys. It's black coffee for me tonight. Unfortunately for Mrs. Candles, I'm going to get the bedtime zoomies. She's not getting any sleep tonight. Let's go. Gonna have to sniff those feet and pump Bitcoin. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry. We've had some time off here. Things are getting crazy. But guys, how are we doing on time here? All right, we got a little bit more time here. Let's see. Okay, so let's continue on. Another altcoin I want to take a look at here, guys, is one that I am not happy to report on here, and that is going to be TIA. Shout out to anybody holding TIA. It's sad. It's so sad. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. It's not actually sad. I mean, I guess it is kind of sad. But here we are on TIA. Not the most beautiful case here, if I'm being honest, right? As you guys know, I accumulated TIA down here in this little accumulation range. I have my DCAs running throughout here. We got the nice pop to the upside that we were looking for into our key level, which was the next previous value area low, which is sitting here at about 882, which is our doorway to higher prices, as well as our key resistance until proven otherwise. What happened? We came up in here. It did prove to be resistance, and we got the big correction back down to the previous value area, and we have now filled that range in full, and we are now sitting at the lows. I will say this. I was talking to the premium Discord earlier today. I cannot short TIA here, right? This is basically shorting support. And actually, this is not... let me pull up my altcoin chart real quick. Let's see here. Where is it? Boom. And I will put some of this in context for you. Let's see. TIA. There we go. Okay, so basically, that was essentially the same exact chart. But we are sitting here, guys, hovering around our value area low. Now, this is technically a deviation below the volume profile. This is not where I look for shorts. This is more often where I look for longs. You can see money flow here on the 4-hour is attempting. It's getting rejected here, but it is attempting to come to the upside, right? If we can get that crossover into the green. What I like to see on this is bullish divergences on something like a 4-hour time frame, right? Which we don't really have, to be quite honest with you. But this is essentially, right, like I can't short here. The shorts are to be had as price is pumping, just like on Bitcoin. I'm short from 106K. I'm not short from 92.2, right, or 92.7, right? You want to short as price is pumping. So for me, like this is more, I am just kind of a slave right now to looking for longs down here, right? So, this is, you get the deviations. Everyone thinks it's going to zero. You get the pull back into the range. You flip the range to support. You go up to the value area high. This is oftentimes how it plays. But right now, really the levels to claim. I will mark them out here. Let me actually, I'll mark it out with a box here real quick. Bada boom from the POC. Whoops. So this is actually going to be, we'll keep it as blue. We got to flip this box, guys. POC value area low. I would love to get above the value area low, but that technically your doorway to higher prices is going to be that POC. Flip that POC to support. That's where we could see a rotation of the range. In my opinion, this is essentially just looking at this as a range, right? Deviate below, look to go back to the high, deviate above, go back to the low, etc., so on and so forth. Now, are things looking super, super bullish right now? I wouldn't really say as far as the chart goes. Whoops, come on. As far as the chart goes, very similar to everything else. 2-day green dot would really be what I want to see print. If we can get that 2-day green dot, we could figure out if this is going to be a fake out on money flow into the green before coming into the red, or if that green dot is going to drag money flow up with it as well. But yeah, I would, I'm not panic selling my TIA yet, but I really don't like that we came all the way back down to this value area low. But for me, this is essentially just a rotation of a range. If we break down lower, we could cross that bridge when we get there, but really what we want to do is reclaim here at this level, this POC here, at about $5.12 to get a return back up to that value area high. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Golden. Shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, first and final warning, sir. You have until New Year's to pick up that wonderful chair that you didn't deserve, that you don't deserve, or I will fight Henry for it and make it mine. The chair deserves better, Frankie. Tisk, tisk. If you guys don't know who Henry is, it's the homeless guy that my new chair is living with right now, waiting for me to pick him up. But shout out to Golden. We will pick him up, bro. We will pick him up. We don't want to piss off. We don't know. Guys, Golden, Golden's probably hovering above the studio right now in his golden helicopter. So he's always watching, guys. Golden is always watching. Drop that golden emoji in the chat if you know who Golden is. Drop that. Start that golden waterfall. I'm drinking black coffee, so, we're not drinking any yellow drinks today, so it doesn't feel weird. But drop those golden emojis in the chat if you have not already. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Deuce. Bro, I got one in the chart waiting for you. I got one in the cart waiting for you to agree to meet up in ATL. Yo, shout out to Dew, bro. You guys are too funny, man. But guys, with all that being said, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I am so happy to be back here in the studio, staring at the charts 24/7, doing what I love with the CandleMafia. I hate taking time off. I'm about to just never do it again. And Golden with the 50 Frankie Candles memberships, you absolute legend. Unbelievable. Shout out to Golden. Dude, you are unbelievable, Golden. Yo, Golden, I don't know how much Golden likes me. I don't know if he wants me to, what he wants me to share and what he doesn't want me to share. But one thing I can say, guys, is Golden is one of the nicest and most genuine genuine and generous people I have ever met. And I'll just tell you this, Golden. You help all the right people, bro. Shout out to Golden, bro. We love you so much. Thank you for dropping those emojis. Drop those golden emojis in, or gifting those memberships. Drop those golden emojis in the chat if you just got a membership. God, first stream back, and I can't even talk. But drop those golden emojis. Let's go. Shout out to Golden. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for all the super chats. Thank you for all the love. And hopefully this analysis has given you guys a little bit of a peace of mind that even if we were to see that drop down to $80,000, not only is it in the cards, but it's also not really that scary. You guys know that line in the sand where I would really start to kind of question how bad this thing can get. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Drop those golden emojis on your way out if you got a membership. And with all that being said, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Feels good to be back in the studio. That's all the time I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f*** is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Mrs. Candles, breathe! Breathe! I think she's... Guys, Mrs. Candles is not doing good. Guys, this is why Bitcoin is dumping, guys. Mrs. Candles can barely hold her head up. Oh, God, Mrs. Candles, oh, God. I don't even know if you guys can see that. Mrs. Candles is not doing good, guys. Look at her hands. Her wrinkly hands are barely inflated. Guys, we might have to start sniffing the feet to inflate Mrs. Candles and Bitcoin. But anyway, shout out to Mrs. Candles. Real quick, guys, I want to take a quick look at Kovu. I believe this is the Red Siberian Husky. Had a super chat for this. Shout out to Tenshu. Hopefully that is hopefully that is saying that right. I think this is the right coin. It is not a ton of price history, but I will just give some quick analysis here. Take these MPOCs off the chart. Green dot printing on the 16-hour, guys. I will say the 1-hour money flow is also working its way to the upside. So if you could potentially, let me go ahead and pull this volume profile. Let's see. I'll pull it to here. I'm going to go ahead and drag or extend these levels to the right. Boom. Okay, yeah, so this range is getting respected pretty nicely. So yeah, you have your POC, your value area low. So this is the range I would be looking at. I will say 1-hour money flow, if this crosses into the green, in the next 15 hours and 34 minutes, you could potentially see a continuation to the upside and a potential break of that all-time high. Now, this is a meme coin, I'm assuming, as it's a dog, and on Solana, I assume this is a meme coin, so understand that the TA is not always respected as well on new meme coins like this, but from a technical perspective, you get that money flow crossover into the green here on the 1 hour with that 16-hour green dot printing. Could potentially give you a significant move to the upside, potentially cracking the highs here. If you do get that move to the upside, I'll just give you some local Fibonacci targets to the upside here. If you do get the move up, the next target I would be looking at would be up here. I'm not going to read off these Solana prices or decimals just because there's so many zeros, but I will mark this off as your next target. sitting right here. You can go ahead and screenshot these levels. That would be the next target. If you do see that money flow crossover into the green on the 1 hour, give you a move up, flip that 786 right here. Get that push up into your next zone. Honestly, you could even extend this up like that so you could screenshot these levels. That's that next big zone I would look at if you get that 1 hour money flow crossover. But please, for the love of God, take that with a grain of salt because these meme coins are crazy. But that's what the charts are saying. But sometimes the meme coins don't respect the charts. But with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it